oh, I don't want to do it, you know? Hello, I'm Andy, and this is my friend Krenar.
Hi.
Krenar is a player that I would one day like to sound like. Every time you pick up the guitar, and you've been playing a lot here, I just enjoy listening to you. And that doesn't happen a lot because I'm sick of people playing guitar. But when it's him, it's beautiful. I am self-taught and I fell into pentatonics like many guitar players do.
Same here.
And this is the pentatonic. Correct?
Good old minor pentatonic.
Good old A minor pentatonic. However, when Krenar plays, he adds some what are called, you call them outside notes, right?
Yeah.
Could you now do a version of what I've just done? Like mine was the most basic A minor pentatonic. Now add a little bit of Krenar sauce into that.
Sure. I mean, that's obviously not simple pentatonic, but it's also not that difficult because it's just like a couple of notes here and there that you need to change from the minor pentatonic. That is going to give you that jazzy neo-soul kind of tone. So if we start from the like this is one of the main notes that I use. It's called the minor ninth. I guess it's called that. I'm not sure, but it's basically if you play your normal pentatonic like this. This note right here, familiar with this sound?
Yes.
This immediately changes the entire vibe, and it gives you that jazzy neo-soul kind of... you want to try it out?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
So you were there, you're flattening it to
exactly.
I'm now putting random outside notes.
You play that and then continue playing the pentatonic scale.
So I want to keep it as basic as possible.
Exactly.
So that would be, and then we go, or hammer it on. That's one that I put in, okay?
Yeah, that's the flat 5.
That's the flat 5. That's the first time I've learned what that's called. I made a mistake one day basically whilst trying to play the pentatonic. And I was like, oh, that's a bit saucy.
Yeah.
So you're going to show me some outside note techniques or licks or... Basically, I said that Krenar's, when he plays guitar, there are notes that on the guitars that he plays that my guitars don't have. And now to prove that wrong, we've got the same guitar that we're going to be playing the same guitar. So it turns out there's another note there.
That's it. I mean, and obviously there's a lot, like getting the correct sound has also a lot to do with feel. I practice a lot of feel. I record myself a lot and then just listen to it. And the picking hand is also super important. So it's not just the notes. It's the attitude that you play the note with. It's the feel that you play the note, like how hard you hit the strings, where you hit the strings, vibrato. Like I think those things are a bit more important than the notes that you play. So you could play the pentatonic scale.
Okay.
And it doesn't sound like the pentatonic scale.
Go on then.
All right. So like even just the timing, just the as I said, the feel, it makes a huge difference. So that was all pentatonic. I was craving to go somewhere else, but that's all pentatonic, and it sounds way different than if you just
everything's
the same,
not dynamic. So
exactly,
completely the same.
Dynamics is very, very important in my opinion.
What I learned from you when I was listening to you play earlier is that I tend to play. I play more or less the same. I have some dynamics to my playing, not near as many as you do, but I tend to, the higher the note I get. So if you have a lick and you have the lowest note, I tend to get louder as I get to the higher note.
That makes sense.
Which
That
kind of
makes
makes
sense
sense,
for me,
right?
yeah.
What you just did then is you went sort of medium, medium, loud, loud, soft.
Yeah.
And my ear went, oh.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of people play the ending note very, very strong.
That's what I do.
But that's not that. I mean, that is a choice. It's definitely something.
But in the context of what we're talking about
Exactly.
now, it's the wrong choice in this context.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot of like practice, like, and repetition. You're going to make mistakes and then you're going to learn from those mistakes. That's how I learned to play guitar.
So you didn't, let's talk about music theory for a moment. You didn't cover music theory, if I got that right?
Yeah,
I didn't. No. You didn't.
No.
You've just experimented more than me and made more mistakes. And
as
maybe not more mistakes, but better mistakes.
Well, I mean, I'll give this all to COVID. Like the time when COVID happened, that's when I had time to practice guitar. And before that, I had played for, I don't know, 7-8 years or something like that. But I was just like mostly playing like open chords and singing, which I don't do anymore. But when COVID happened, I had a lot of time. So I just sat with the guitar and then played for hours, like 8-9 hours a day for like, what, a year and a half, 2 years. And that's the most progress I've ever seen in my playing was during that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I had kids that needed me, and I don't know. I actually don't remember what I did. How weird is that? I mean, I did this channel, but I guess I didn't do what you did. But I'll have a question about the guitar before we move on to the next tip, and that is, when I play an SG, for example, I suddenly start playing the A chord, and it's AC/DC comes out of me, and then when I play a Strat, depending on what kind of Strat it is. It might go more John Mayer. It might go more Hendrix.
Right.
It might go sort of Iron Maiden sometimes. When you put this on, this Schofield,
right?
Do you start playing differently, or because I noticed you played my Ibanez? I can't remember what it's called. Rocket Roll.
Okay.
The Flying V from the 70s, and you still sounded like you.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if it's a Strat. It's gonna have. I mean, I will probably also play some Hendrix, some like. I'm definitely gonna play that, as you probably heard.
I did.
But most of the times, I still play like the same kind of things that I play on any guitar.
Right.
Like, because that's another goal of mine is to develop and create my own voice. I mean, I don't have music out there. I still haven't written any music or published any music, at least. But if I have like 5 minutes to play guitar, I want to focus on my style of playing, and I want to develop my sound. So that's why whenever I grab any other guitar, yes, there's going to be nuances, but I usually tend to, stick to my roots, as you may, to, get that sound going.
So I don't know what my goal is. I like stuff from heavy fuzz to the stuff we're doing now.
Yeah.
And I love nothing more than to thrash out a power chord or a full chord sometimes, and just hear that, and it gives me joy. On the other side, I love what we're doing now and hearing those beautiful little delicate things. The difference is I don't practice enough to be able to control those delicate things, which is why I often go to the other way. Great. So it's I hear you. I can almost always recognize you playing. When we're around, and people stop and listen to Krenar playing, so
it means a lot.
Yeah. I'm not filling him full of compliments. It's just the truth. There is a rooms full of guitar players, and who's that? That's Krenar. Nice. So, can we recap? Tip number 1 is that that flattened ninth.
Exactly. And if you're like, this is if we're talking Schofield, since we also have the Schofield model. I love this. I don't know what the note is called, to be honest, but if you're playing the blues, like, and then you add this.
Again?
So instead of.
So you just
flatten this. So this note right here, it changes everything. Like from playing a simple blues. There's a lot of tension in that note.
Yes.
And you definitely need, if you like, depending on what your audience is, but if you have like an audience full of guitar players, you add those tension notes to get the attention. So go ahead and give it a shot. Just play regular blues and then flatten that note and then...
Oh, it's
Yeah.
I don't want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
It's so weird. Because I've learned my shapes and my fingers don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put in that
Yeah.
just to, you know, show off now. I've learned a new thing. That would be the only thing I do for the next sort of 6 months, by the way.
Yeah.
Great.
You see, it also, you kind of come up with the rhythm for it as well.
Yeah.
Robin Ford is also very known for using that kind of, and then also the whole like diminished, half diminished scales as well, but like not the whole thing, just like chunks of it.
Okay. I hope this is, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I hope this is coming across simply for you, the viewer, because I love that we're both coming from a non-musical theory point of view. I don't know what that note is. You don't know what it is, but it adds the tension. We can talk about it without talking about musical theory. And I was one of those guys who thought that music theory would make me a worse player because I just feel it rather than know what I'm doing. I used to be that guy.
Yeah.
If you are that person, it's not true.
No, not at all.
You will, I believe you will go through a period where that's true because you have to start thinking in a different way.
Exactly.
So when looking at an instrument, any instrument, and you're expressing yourself, expressing what's going on, and now I know that word tension. Dun, dun. I think if I want to add some tension into this passage that I'm playing, I'm going to add that note.
Exactly.
Whereas before I was just kind of, before I had this note that now exists in my guitars, I'm going to try them when I get home, try all of them, make sure it's on them. I have another word in my vocabulary or another sentence. You know? Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't have to be a flat 9. I mean, it has to be the tension note. Like, it could be the tension note. That's how I look at it. I wish I knew more about it. I mean, yes, I do know a bit of theory because, like, you got to know the basics so that you can, you know, take it from there and experiment and see what you can do with it. Because without knowing any theory, then you can't get that far.
No,
I'm not saying you need to sight read or anything like that, but just like the basics. Like, you definitely,
the more you know, the better you're going to be eventually.
Yeah, totally.
But you will go through a period of having to change, or I did, went through a period of just knowing something, but then it making me a worse player because I was overthinking things. However, having gone through that, I can now use it. And I think that's off-putting for a lot of guitar players. And just the general theory and general learning, it's like, it's work. It stops being fun for a while and it starts to be work. Yeah. But then after, it's more fun.
Exactly.
And you know this much more. Yeah.
So when you know what that note does and you know how to use it and you can access it at any time, that's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah. And I think guitar players, we are the worst at music theory and knowing what we're doing. Hence, when you go into a music store, we're all playing the same classic riffs. And then when someone like you comes along, we go, oh, what's this guy doing? And that's why we're sat here right now. So I'm going to give the guitar back to you and ask you to give me one more thing that makes me Krenarish.
I mean, let's keep it out of blues. So basically, we know our blues, and then when you go to the turnaround with the 5 chord, that's also a tension chord. Instead of playing the normal A minor, you can start from playing from here, so from A flat, And so if you have this chord, the E7,
Oh,
that gives you I think the harmonic minor, and it just works very well with a dominant 5 chord. So it's just, so you don't even need to add the 9. Like it works like this as well. So it's just one note.
I'm hearing so much in your right hand right at the moment. I'm trying not to come up with cliches, you know, like to express what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm hearing is not me. And I know that I don't think that's far away for me, but I know that I would have to practice. I now know what I need to practice, but I now know I need the music theory, because otherwise I would learn exactly that. And then I'd say, Krenar, I've learned exactly that. Show me one more.
Yeah.
And you're just learning lick by lick. And what I really need to do is get into the theory of that.
That's it. So that you're free to use all of it, like around the fretboard.
I mean, I could switch that position to a different key.
Yeah.
But then I go back to my normal standard A minor chord. So it would like Andy, Krenar, Andy.
I mean, if you ask me on the spot, I also can be like, okay, I'm going to play the same thing here.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm jamming and then I come to this part of the guitar, I can probably find it. Like if I'm... So it's the same tension. It's the same harmonic minor kind of vocabulary, but on a different part of the neck.
Great. Are there any resources that you use or any players that you recommend to pick this up by ear? Or how can I not have to come back to you and say, Krenar, I need the next bit?
Well, I listen to a lot of music, and what I also do is I listen to like jam sessions, live jam sessions. For example, there's this cool video of David Ryan Harris playing with his band and John Mayer as well. So David Ryan Harris, he's leading the band, and it's like a 30-40 minute like jam session, and that's what I do at work. So I work in a kitchen, and I just put that on while I'm doing the prep. I listen to that, but I listen to it carefully so that I can like passively get some stuff out of it. There's like plenty of jams online, even like just listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan while you're doing something, but trying to actively listen to it and maybe try to visualize what you're hearing on the fretboard.
Mm-hmm.
That also helped me, at least.
It makes so much sense, and I really hope that I make the time to implement this, because because the viewer's perspective, your perspective right now is kind of my perspective. And when you did all the fancy stuff, I actually thought that's not that far away for me.
No.
I just need to put in the work.
Yeah, it's fine tuning. Like the notes are there. It's just, and you don't need to know exactly what you're doing. If it sounds good, it sounds good.
Maybe that's the key to why I find your playing so interesting, because there are some players, let's say Steve Vai, for example, where I think that is monstrous. I don't think I will ever get to achieve that. However, with you, and I don't mean this in any condescending way, I think he knows stuff that I don't know, but it's just outside of my comfort zone. And I think that's the interesting thing for me as a musician, to hear another musician who's just taken a few more steps. Thank you.
No problem at all.
Well, I've had an amazing time. I'm going to use this video as my own personal reference. And to you watching this, come back and watch it often. And if you take one thing from this video, I think it's the first tip you showed me, that flattened ninth, because it was so easy. Beautiful. he has a YouTube channel. He
I do.
plays like that in most of his videos, the ones that I've watched at least. Even if you don't care about the gear that he's showing you in that video, you'll enjoy the playing. I promise you that. So there'll be a link to that on the screen right now.
Talking about gear.
Oh,
Sorry
go on
to
then.
interrupt.
Sorry.
$7.99.
$7.99.
And the only difference, I think, in comparison to the more expensive models, the only difference would be the fretboard, which we just found out it's walnut.
Yeah, unexpected.
Have you ever played a guitar with a walnut fretboard?
As far as I know, only today.
That's it.
Yeah. My friend has one of the more expensive ones. I think it was like 2,000 something.
Yeah.
I'll now have to try that out in a shootout at some point because
That'll make for a great video.
It would. Well, it's just a personal preference because he loves that guitar, and I would love to show him that and say, actually, this one's pretty good as well. I mean, yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing it, and I've learned so much from Krenar today that I'm going to try and take away and implement at least one thing. You should go and visit his channel because it's beautiful music surrounded by beautiful gear. There's a link on the screen for that. There's also links underneath for this gear that we're using today. And yeah, go and learn some music theory. It will help. And if it doesn't, at least learn the stuff that Krenar showed us in this video. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.